Next, we're going to add lines to this front page. This will really give it some definition and also in terms of separating the stories for visibility. Go to the top panel and click on View, Grids, Show Document Grid. Right, this will help us definitely. We're going to choose the line tool, and outside of my document or front page, I'm just going to draw a line here. I'm going to attempt to draw it as straight as possible. Sometimes it takes a few attempts. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see, right now let's set it to 2 just to make sure I can see it. Once I have it, I'm just going to move it among my front page. Now, we turned on the document grid, so it will help us with alignment. Just zoom in so we can see what we're doing. I said it will help us with alignment, but it really more so helps us with placement of this line, for example. Now, obviously, it's not long enough, so that's not a problem. As long as it's straight, I'm just going to move it across the page. Now, 2 may be too thick, but we're not going to worry about that just now. Now, here's an important step also. Remember, we dealt with the report story in my case and also the Hong Kong. I wanted it to stop at the same level, as well as the Clinton, Trump, and single mom to start at the same place, because I knew that I was going to draw lines or want them to be included. Now, instead of drawing another line, I'm just going to copy and paste. Let's zoom in once again. Have it selected, I'm just going to move it over and stretch it all the way across from one guide to the other. I'm going to hit Command S to save, and I'll take a look in the preview mode also. Okay, that's good. That really helps to separate those stories. Let's add some more lines. I'm going to go back to the screen mode, normal. Zoom in. Now that I have a duplicate of the line, I have the selection tool selected. Ensure that the line is selected, and now we want to change this to 90 degrees counterclockwise. So click here. Great. So instead of continuing to make lines, we can simply copy it and make changes and paste. All right, this one is set to 2, which I'm pretty sure may be too thick, but we will be able to change that here soon. So I'm just going to move it over, zoom in some more so I can see. All right, now we want this to go up, and already I can see that it's way too thick. We don't want to move it into the bar, into the name, or into the flag, or anything of that sort. So let's move it. I want it to align with the stroke of my name box. Let's go ahead and change it from 2 to 0.75, something small. And I want to attempt to put it in the center. Right, and I see that it runs into one of my bottom stories, the Clinton Trump, which I don't want it to do, so I'll let it stop here. All right, that's 0.75. This is 2. And what I'll do is go ahead and save and take a look in the preview mode to see just how this looks. Oh yes, that's nice. I like that. And what we could do here is bring this down actually, because that bar separates this story. Let's see. I would need to move that over. Now, if you need to turn it back on the normal view, feel free to do so. Yes, that looks much better. Very well aligned. Let's set it to normal and get a little bit closer. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, great. That's within the line. Now you notice that once I added it to the guide, I had to move my text box over. So you may want to play with that just a little. Okay, great. Let's see what else we can do here for clarity on the story. So primary story looks good. We need to add another line here. So I'm going to just Command V, because remember that's the last thing I copied. Let's zoom in. We want it to be in the middle here between those stories, not on top of one of the boxes, but in the middle at the end of one guide and starting a column. Okay, I'm going to change this now from 2. Let's change the stroke altogether. Let's make it thin from 2 to 1. Go ahead and save it. Let's move up to the top here. 2 is extremely thick. Let's bring this one to 1. Save again. Let's make this one 0.75 here. And I'm almost for certain I need another line to separate my Clinton Trump and single mom story. So just to help me with visibility, I'll paste it here. And I'm going to make this one or turn it counterclockwise once again. And then simply move it over into the front page. These lines are known also as rules that are used all of the time in news design, as well as magazine publication design, and even web design also. You can see here that initially, when we added all of the stories in our images, yes, we could see and determine what was the primary story, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But with rules and lines, it gives definition to this page, for example, in terms of this story, this photograph goes with this story, this is another story, this is another story, and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and move it down. Well, I definitely should zoom in. I want it to start where the stories start. And let's go back to 1 or maybe even 7.75. We'll see in just a moment what works. Again, it's in the middle. In the middle of the guide is where it is. Let's go ahead and save. And now I'll preview, screen mode, preview. All right, I think this looks good. Lastly, I'm going to just move this line over just a hair. It's very close to the single mom. Yeah, so let me go ahead and save, Command S. All right, this looks good. I am ready to submit it. Now, before you submit, please ensure that you look through your front page carefully. Ensure that you have all stories aligned appropriately within the guides. Also, your photographs have borders around them. I'm almost for certain that I set the border at 0.75. Also, you have a name box top left corner. If it is not there and you want to change it up, please let me know. Also, make sure that your fonts are the same. We want to ensure that the rules and lines are appropriately aligned. You think it looks great and demonstrates a well-designed front page newspaper. I'm going to save it once again. Okay, then simply go to File, Export, and automatically, as it has done previously, it recognizes my flash drive, Adobe PDF. Now we have interactive and print. I'm going to leave it on interactive. I'm going to leave it the same in terms of the name and click on Save. If you get this message, this warning, just click OK. It's perfectly fine. Now it automatically opens the PDF. Gosh, I think this looks very nice. It's very clean, easy to read. My stories are within the columns. I have some 2-column stories, 3 columns. The most in terms of my columns are I have a 4-column story at the bottom, but this looks great. Now I am ready to submit. I'm not going to demonstrate the method of submitting. Now, once you are at the end, we want to submit this PDF, no InDesign document, so no extension with the period of the .INDD. Once you're ready to submit, go ahead and access Blackboard, and then in the part 3, you will have a submission item there to submit.